So good morning all.
Very good morning.
Only from Debrashi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Super. So there is energy in the room. Thank you so much. Okay. So my name is Prasanna. I am SSA in Great Orators Toastmasters Club. Okay. And it is my duty to tell about three ground rules which we need to follow in this Toastmaster meeting. The first one is to mute your audio whenever the speaker is speaking. Second rule is we should not talk about sex, religion or politics. It's very, very essential. Third rule is don't make unnecessary movements whenever the video is on, okay, so that it may not distract the speaker. Okay. Now I will call upon the person who is energetic and always motivates us to talk, means to speak, and to motivate us to speak in public. Okay, that is none other than Mr. Devarshi. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Prasanna. That was a very heartwarming introduction, I might say. I may not know so many things about myself as you told. Yeah, very good morning, one and all. So, though we have very less attendance, and that happens sometimes, but we should keep the track on. I mean, we should keep having the meetings, the consistency. As we keep having consistency, we'll gradually start having results for our club and individually as well. That will motivate others to join in our upcoming meetings. So keeping that in mind, since the weekend, I thank you once again, everyone, for giving us your valuable time on the weekend and joining the session. So going forward today, we do not have any speeches, I guess. I would like to hand over the session to our TMOD, TM Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Devarshi. So, good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Since it's just the five of us, let's keep it interactive.
Yes, yeah.
Good morning, Tit.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Yeah. So, remember last Saturday when Toastmaster Summit was talking about what lies beneath the surface? A surface of a prepared speech or an evaluation, or what you generally do. And we told us about the nuances of every such thing. So today, let's talk about what's on the surface. So this is not a spin-off, but I actually was thinking about this. I still remember attending the first meeting of Great Orators Toastmaster Club when Toastmaster Prasanna was giving his icebreaker speech. And I remember it was his first speech. And yet he always maintained a calm, satisfied look that he generally has. Even right now, you can see that. There's a hint of a smile on his face, but you cannot see him. He was like, afraid or scared, or it was his first speech. You couldn't see that on his face. The same with Toastmaster Debarshi. Last time when he was telling us that throughout the morning he was tense about his speech and he actually wanted to relax but he couldn't. Yet throughout the meeting before he said that, I couldn't see that on his face. He was actually enthusiastic. And even today when there are less people, we are still having this demeanor on, and it's actually our real self, not demeanor actually. I mean, not our facade. So today I want to talk about what is on the surface. Like, I mean, what's important. So the importance of having this kind of facade that everyone looks up to. And this is mainly what we maintain on our faces and our body language and the way we react to every situation. So before this meeting, I was talking to Toastmaster Prasanna. He told me that how a manager is very important, crucial for a team. The team looks up to that person, and in the situation of crisis, if the person loses his calm or expresses that he's angry or scared, then the whole team will not be able to function properly. The team will lose the motivation to work hard, or even everyone will get scared. At that time, even though the person knows that they are in a critical situation, they have to maintain some kind of enthusiasm so that everyone can move on. When you are giving a speech, especially in public, people don't know what's going on in your mind. It's the way you speak out, your delivery that matters. So again, there are two situations. Some people, when I have told this before to people, they told me that, do you mean to say that we should hide what we are actually feeling inside and maintain some kind of expression on our faces? That is not true. What do you guys think about it? Let's start with Toastmasters Somek. What do you think about this?
I'm sorry, I missed the last bit. Can you
Okay.
just repeat that?
Yeah, so what I was saying is, when we talk about maintaining the demeanor, the outside
Mhm.
appearance, and some people say that it is not quite right because you are actually hiding what you are thinking. And this is kind of a false expression that comes on your face. So, what do you think about this? Is that argument correct, or what is your stance on that argument?
Well, I think eventually what you are will come out. There is no hiding from that. So, like maybe you can. It depends upon person to person. Maybe you can do it for few minutes. Maybe you can do it for a few hours. Maybe you can do it for a few days. But eventually, it does come out. So, rather, it's better to be the same from the very beginning itself.
All right. Toastmaster Santosh, what do you think?
Yeah, that's what as Somik told. So the person you should stay as it is, like, and in case of the person, if you feel it is a fake, so then you should have some distance with him, and it's not good to believe too much to any people, and it's not good that you don't believe the people also. So you should stay as normal as possible.
All right. Those are some really good points. And when I am talking about maintaining a facade or something on your outer appearance, I'm not talking about something that is something that you don't believe in. For example, suppose you are appreciating someone for something that they have done. Suppose in Toastmasters, if they have done, if they have delivered a good speech, or if you just want to give some appreciation, then if it's not genuine, they won't feel it. Like Toastmaster Somek was talking about a connection that you have to maintain with people, or which comes naturally. If it's not genuine, it won't come out. So whatever's inside, whatever you are feeling, will anyway come out. But it's still important to maintain a kind of an outer experience that makes everyone around you happy or keeps them alive. You don't have to be the life of the party always, but again, you don't have to be the spoiled sport. So whatever you say or do makes a lot of sense when it's complementary with your emotions, the way you express yourself. And before giving a speech, if you are scared, and if you have prepared really well, and you have written it well, and you will do it well. But even then, if you have that, even a tinge of maybe the way that you are speaking, or if you express even before saying that, okay, I haven't prepared properly, I'm too scared, then that goes on with people, and they will always keep noticing that in every bit of your speech. They won't actually focus on your content. I mean, it will be difficult for them to focus. So it's really important the way you carry yourself before talking about anything, before expressing yourself, because it won't just reflect upon how your character, but it will also influence people around you, especially the people who look up to you. So that's it. That's what I wanted to say about the theme on the surface. And let's head on to our table topic session with our dynamic table topic master, Debarshi. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Keith. I mean, while Keith was, am I audible? First of all, I just want to check. Yeah. So while Keith was talking about, about the first look appearance of a person, and he carries with the same flow. So we always have seen people who just comes into the room and immediately he lights the entire room as such. I mean, so we have seen such people around us because we look forward to be them. I mean, those person, So we have seen them to be real all the time, and we find it really interesting, influensive all the time. So that is what they have made uh, the culture, the environment across them. So that is something uh, takes us way forward to be like them, So that inspires us. So keeping that in mind, so uh, that was a very wonderful introduction, Pith. So fellow Toastmasters, guests, and all the members present here, even our idiot director. I'm Devar Singh, host, your table topic master for the day. And today I am here to give you the opportunity to participate in the most interesting and exciting portion of the Toastmasters meeting. I guess there is no doubt about it. The table topic session. So, why this? I just wanted to have a brief introduction why this table topic session is there. I mean, includes in every meeting. So Toastmaster has this tradition to getting as many people to speak in a meeting as possible. Today through this table topic session, since we only have 5 of us, so we'll try to keep it interactive and we will try to speak and pick more than one topic to speak. So I'll try to uphold this tradition. So you all are ready to speak?
Yeah,
Just
ready.
great, great. Uh, Fine. So I would like to, I have prepared a few topics for you, um, and I believe this hopefully will help you to meet your goal. I encourage everyone, members and guests. So let's just give it a try. You know. So do we have anyone who has joined the first? I know you all of us has joined before. Fine. So here is the first topic of the day. Anyone wants to voluntarily volunteer yourself for the first topic to pick, just show me a thumbs up. I will just call your name. Anyone?
You can give it to me.
Okay, Prasanna wins. Yeah, fine. So for you, the topic is. Okay, since we are talking about so much about you being how the image you are holding throughout the day and around around the people around you. So your topic would be, what would be your perfect day look like? I mean, plan it out from waking up to bedtime. Would you like to tell us more about that? I mean, what would be your perfect day look like from waking up to till your bedtime in the night? So we have timer today, right? Yeah. Okay, fine. So would anyone like to count the hours and would like to point out the grammars? We do not have accountants or grammarians today.
I'll do that with the table topic evaluator role.
Okay, fine. Okay, Santosh sir, you got the topic? Yes.
Okay, so
yeah, fine.
Can I start?
Yes.
Okay. So can I start, Santosh?
1 minute. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we can start.
Okay.
I am seeing the calendar, this one. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So to start a day in a productive way, actually we require a good food, good sleep, and break time is required. Okay, so how we have to prioritize our work? Okay, so it depends on the difficult task and the easiest task. So first, what we need to do here is difficult task. We need to keep it in the morning. Why? Because we'll have a good focus in the morning. Okay, and we can complete it very easily. Whether it is difficult task or it is a boring task. So you have to keep it in the morning so that focus will be there in the morning, and you can finish it efficiently. And easier task you can keep it in the second half so that it will be easier to finish the task. Apart from that, even we should have the aim in the life, okay, which should connect even to our professional life also. Okay, so if we have the aim, so during the free hours or leisure time, what we can do, we can work on the different topics where we can collect the information which will help in the professional way as well as the personal growth also. Okay. Uh, and we need to give some time to the family also. So we need to have a walk in the means we need to go out, we need to have chat, we need to go, we need to discuss the personal and what has happened in the personal life. All that we need to discuss. Okay, so that even personal life is also maintained. Okay. This is all from my side and my discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, that was like a lot to do in a day itself. I mean, my perfect day would look like wake up, brush, eat, read books, and then sleep. Do nothing else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, true, true, true.
great, great, good to know. So yeah, so I'll go ahead with the next topic. If anyone else want to, since Swamik was raising at AIS, correct? Uh, so Swamik, have you seen Harry Potter movies or read books?
Huh.
Yeah. So have you ever imagined if Hogwarts could be for real, and if you would be excited to receive the letter from Hogwarts? So that's the topic.
So, taking the condition that Hogwarts is real, and I am receiving my letter at the age of 11. So yes, I will be very scared because when I started reading Harry Potter, I was 16, 17 years old, almost 17 or 18 years old, and it felt exciting to me. But yes, at the age of 11, if somebody tells me that there is going to be a big cauldron inside which you will be brewing potions, and then you will be playing with weird animals, and there are weird spells that you would be using, so I would definitely get scared and I would definitely not want to go. Rather, my mother, being a Bengali mother, definitely will not allow me, because I was never allowed to go to hostel before engineering, in spite of the fact that my life, it has been the other way around. I wanted to go to boarding school and my parents never allowed me to. Usually it is with people that they threaten their student, if you do this, do that, we will throw you into boarding. My life was different. I was tortured a lot by my parents, and I wanted to have a break, so I wanted to go to boarding school. So yes, I'm pretty confident Hogwarts being a boarding school, my parents definitely would not allow me. And being the Bengali cultured family, the conventional education would be much more important to them than brewing potions and spells and all that. That's all. Over to you, Devarshi.
I totally can relate because I am also from a Bengali family, and I actually cracked the examination from Ramakrishna Mission. So that is quite a reputed school. That is again a boarding school. I cracked it. My parents didn't allow me to go there, But eventually, I had to leave home and go to Bangalore for better education. That when I grown up. But yeah, I can totally relate what Swamik had been telling. Probably for the same reason, I could miss the opportunity for being in Hogwarts as well. Yeah. So that's so next topic. Anyone wants to volunteer? Santosh, Tirth. Yeah. Hi, Santosh.
Yeah, hi.
Hmm. So for you, I have a very interesting topic. I mean, these days, people talk so many things about being feminist or chauvinist. So your topic would be a little different to sound, but are men equal to women?
Okay.
So that's the topic. Yeah.
Okay, let me start. So I let me repeat the top. Someone note my time. Yeah. So let me repeat the topic. What I understood. Women, whether men are equal to women. That is the topic, right? Devarshi.
Yes, right, correct.
So, in my view, men will never be equal to women. Women will always be far superior than men in terms of anything. See, if you are, say, for example, if you are a parent, so if the baby boy is born, so then there is a discussion that boy should be uh, grown up like this, boy should be having these values, and he should be doing this. But girls, they're inbuilt. They don't know all those things, how to behave in the society, how to take a struggle, or how to how to solve the problem. If you see, the mother is one of the strongest character in our life. She's an ideal example for all of us to lead our life or take the struggles, or know the importance of overcoming the problems. And also, in my view, women is always superior than men in terms of the physical strength. Yes, women need some kind of education in terms of how to protect themselves. Maybe a lot of gentlemen are providing, a lot of gentlemen and gentlemen are providing a lot of self-defense techniques. Maybe that should be more implemented, so that unfortunate things should not happen. So this is my view. Women is always superior than men. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so actually, I totally agree with you. So because even we heard that even we have read in our books that men or women are never meant to be compared. So they are both, they in their individual way are different and strong enough. Even in our history, we have seen in Harappa and even in Sindhu civilizations, it was driven by women. So it was not like today's state where the men have the full advantage of the society. It was completely different in that time. So that is how civilization has started. So the beginning of the civilization has been always in the hand of women, and that is how we have been drawn and gathered together and made society and made rules for ourselves. You know. So next, Tirth, you would like to take up the topic? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. Hmm. So for you, again, I have an interesting topic for you as well. I mean, which celebrity would you want as your BFF, best friend forever? You know, and why?
All right. So they say that never meet your hero because you never know how the encounter may turn out. You may actually stop thinking that your hero is actually the best person that you always think about or the person you look up to. But there's someone that I always look up to because of the simplicity with which they lead their lives. And you may have heard of the actor Keanu Reeves. He's from the movie Matrix, The Matrix, all the seasons, of course. And the person, I mean, his life is very different. The way he leads his life, it's just very simple. He drives a truck. He lives in a small apartment, or wherever he interacts with his fans, it's quite modest the way he talks to people. And maybe having a best friend forever like that would not just teach me a lot about how to deal with fame. And if something happens to me, or when there was a meme floating around like what to do when you are famous, I wouldn't Google search. I would ask that person, because I have seen that person, especially as far as what I have seen from the memes or whatever have been floating around, that that person leads his life very simply. He knows what he wants to do. The way he, yeah, the charity that is, the way he donates his money, the way which he supports people around him, and also cares for his fans, that tells me a lot. The fans are someone who actually love for you, unconditional love, somewhere you don't give back to them. And if there's a chance where you can actually give back to them, it's what Keanu Reeves does, and I would learn a lot from that person, and maybe even incorporate a few things in my life. So yeah, even an encounter with him will teach me a lot. That's what I believe. So thanks a lot for the topic. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Great. I mean, believing in such person being your best friend forever is a blessing for your life. So so people say that you become like the person whom you stay around. So when you have such best friend forever, you eventually evolve and feel like a better person every day. So again, since we have very less members, so you would like to continue few more topics, maybe 2, 3 more topics. If anyone else want to volunteer again to speak second time, can volunteer and raise your hand.
Yeah, nee,
Person.
I'll give you a topic.
Oh, me? Okay.
And then we can move to the evaluations.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay. Okay. So your topic is, suppose you have seen Avengers Endgame, right?
No, I have not seen.
Okay, you have not seen Avengers Endgame. Okay, but you have seen, okay, you have seen Harry Potter, right? Harry Potter you have seen, done. Okay, so in the last part, okay, since you have seen the movie, you know who all are going to die. Okay, now if suppose you land in that situation, real situation, okay, and knowing the ones who are going to die, and you can save one of the characters. Now you have to make sure that it does not influence the final outcome. Obviously, Voldemort has to die, otherwise the whole purpose fails. Okay, so and you know the list of people whom you can save. You can save one out of them. Whom would you save? And you have to justify how it will not influence the outcome. That is Voldemort's death.
Okay. So yeah. So I have given it a thought. I took some time to really judge whom could I save and still be able to defeat Voldemort. So for me, it's definitely Dumbledore. So I want that person to stay alive. So he is one of his kind, and we all love him. I mean, maybe in the Harry Potter entire series, apart from Harry Potter and Hermione, he probably could be the third most desired character in the entire series who has made us our interest alive throughout the Harry Potter's. All the values and principles what even drives through the Harry Potter series also are mostly adapted from the theorem from given by Voldemort. Dumbledore. So I would like to first want that person to stay alive, and in case there is another sequel, I want the directors to make him alive once again and bring back. And if that person is something, he may look like 200 years old, but still be able to mingle up with the kids. And he goes everywhere. He has all the knowledge. It's fun to watch him. Maybe he is not of your age, but he's still your friend. So that kind of even the wisdom what he has. So he is just being adapted everywhere, all the situations. And I love him. So I would definitely would like to save him and want to see him back again in another, in case there is another sequel from Harry Potter. So that was it from my side, Swami.
Okay, thanks. I mean, now you can carry on if you want some more topics or anything. It's up to you.
Yeah, probably one more topic. Anyone wants to volunteer? Okay, Prasanna sir. Fine. Hmm. So for you, it's a family type question. I mean, I understand you are a very family man, and so who is the closest to your heart from your family, apart from your wife, definitely. So who is the another person who is closest to your heart in your entire family?
Is he there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I start?
Yes, you can start.
Okay. All in my family are close to me, actually, uh, but my daughter is very near to me, and why she is near to me is she is good in socializing, mingling with everybody. Okay, so she is good at studying, but also this social thing is required. Okay, so she always mingles, she plays with me, all that. Okay, and she will be active all the time. So just now she has completed SSLC. So before to that, she was studying some stories and all. So she was started with cartoon and all, and after that, I was forcing her to study this one. I was getting a book of what you call Doorman and all. Okay, so yes, she was studying that also. Okay, and then I bought her the Harry Potter. Then she found difficulty to read those books. Why? Because she was telling that whenever I read that, I will not get sleep. So many difficult words are there and all. And after that, later her friends started reading that. Then she got interested in Harry Potter books and all. And after that, she finished all the books, and she knows in and out of the story now. So this is how it depends on the influence of friends will also be there. Okay, so that is one part of that. Okay, and she was good at study also. Okay, it's not that she means intelligence has come to her naturally. Okay, so whatever we ask, we she used to tell all the things which is there in the book and all, and she is having very good knowledge and common sense also. But when it comes to the scoring the subject, she was very a little low, like 80, 90, like that she was getting, not 100 actually. Okay, now in SSLC she got 80%. That is good. So that is what she deserves. Why? Because not depending on anybody, she read that, and without by hurting, so which has come naturally to her. So she has written that in the examination. So she deserves 80%. Okay, and now she has joined to commerce and all. So her college days have started now. As because of COVID, she is not able to go to the college, so she is missing that. So all that is happening online now. This is all about from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Santosh. Sorry, thank you, Prasanna sir. So I believe she will have a very bright future ahead. So that concludes the table topic session for today. And thank you all for the participation. And I really enjoyed your talks. So I now will hand over the session to TM
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Debashi. That was a really good session. All of us had fun, the five of us. And thanks a lot, Toastmaster Somik, because he also had a topic prepared for our table topic master. So that was something new. So moving on, I think let me tell this. So the thing that I was talking about, the on the surface thing, just before the session, it really helped all of you. I mean, I'm not sure if it helped or it was just your innate qualities, but table topic sessions, in my opinion, are actually difficult, more difficult than prepared speeches, because they just put you on spot and you have to come up with something, a story, and just say it out in within 1 or 2 minutes. And looking at all of you, you had that kind of demeanor on your face, that you were calm, you were not scared, you were not flummoxed by the topic, but you went ahead. So kudos to all of you. And let's move on to our general evaluator session. Let's see what our evaluators have to say for today. Over to you, Toastmasters Somak.
Thanks, Steve. Overall, we had a very wonderful session today, and well, I would just say that the enthusiasm that everybody has is putting in, the amount of energy, it really doesn't feel like it's 5 or 6 people. It definitely feels like a full-fledged meeting that we are having. So hats off to everybody's energy and mindfulness that you are putting in. Like, you are here means you are here, you are not anywhere else. So that is something which is really spectacular. Teeth, shall we start with the table topic evaluation? You said you were okay. So over to Teeth for the table topic evaluation. Teeth, you can take about I guess since we are finishing at 12, so you can take about 5 minutes for the table topic, 5 to 7 minutes for the table topic evaluation. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Somik. So let's start with our first table topic speaker, Toastmaster Prasanna. Sir, you had a really good take on whatever you were talking about, the way you wanted to spend your day, the ideal day. And you gave all of us really good things to think about on what we can actually do. I mean, for me, it would be something very typical, and I did not think about the family aspect that you brought along, and that was something really good to take away from your table topic. I would request you to maintain the eye contact because in the beginning, I mean, throughout the speech, we're looking up. I mean, not at the camera, and I wasn't able to connect so much with what you were saying. So it would be better if you can maintain the eye contact with the camera or at least with the screen, so that we know that you're talking to us. And you have this habit of connecting the sentences with "okay, so." So instead of that, maybe you can just have a pause and think about what you want to speak next, or maybe have the next sentence also ready in your mind so that you don't use this. Or not saying anything is also better than saying this. And the ending was a bit abrupt. Maybe you can have some structure. I mean, it's very difficult. Again, it's a table topic, but again, they do suggest that we can have an intro, big the body and conclusion. So when you take the 10-15 seconds, you can think about what you want to say and then have a basic framework ready so that you don't deviate from the topic. Even in your second, I'll come to that again, but okay, I'll just speak it out. So even in your second topic, I think you deviated a bit from what you wanted to say, and you noticed the red card and you had to stop abruptly. So instead, just have whatever you want to say ready and just go on. And in the second topic, actually, your eye contact really improved. I mean, in the beginning, you were looking at the screen. And again, you were using okay, so and means. So you can improve on that. And that's it for you. Toastmaster Somik, again a nice take. You gave a brief glimpse about a typical Bengali family, at least the one that you grew up in. And that was very connecting with all of us, especially with Toastmaster Devashi. So you did use a few crutch words, but I think those are fine. You said and here and there. I think because you were thinking about what you want to say. So I think that is fine. And maybe again, that can be, if you can avoid it, it will be better. Toastmaster Santosh, you answered the question in the beginning itself. I mean, you gave your stance on it again when you said that I think women are superior, and you just gave your stance throughout the thing, and you gave great examples like of a mother. So that kudos to you. That was a really good way to connect with your audience. The good point to note is you had no crutch words throughout the speech. So again, great job. And you started with saying this is my view, and again ended with that. So maybe in the beginning, if you give a disclaimer, it's fine because it can be controversial for a typical set of audience. But again, you don't have to repeat it because again, in a table topic, it is of course your view, and whatever you say is fine. Keeping in mind that you are considerate about the various sections of society out there. So you don't have to repeat it again. But again, a good job. Toastmaster Devarshi, you took some time off, and then when you started speaking, it was good. I mean, whatever you wanted to say about the character that you love the most throughout the 8 books or the movies, you talked about that person and why you wanted to bring that person alive. A technical glitch, maybe I don't know how that would work because if Dumbledore doesn't get killed, then how would Malfoy get the ownership of the bond, and then Harry, and then how would he kill Voldemort? So again, we need to think about that maybe sometime later. So let's. But yeah, again, the topic was really good. The way you spoke, and again, you had that smile going on, so you were confident throughout it. And yeah, that's it. Last speaker was Toastmaster Prasanna, and I have mentioned the way he spoke at the beginning. So great job to all of you. This was a really good table topic session. Looking forward to more of this, and I hope this report was also helpful to you. So thanks a lot, and over to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Somik.
Thanks, Steve. So let me now, start with the grammarian report first of all. Some of the good words that were used was uh, the strongest character, overcoming problem, innate qualities, then gave your stance, best friend forever. Frankly, I did not know the full form of BFF. So maybe generation gap. Okay, so some of the places where we can do things correctly would be the tenses. When we have, something from the past to tell, like a historical fact, or maybe somewhere we are telling about the present and the past, little bit of this, little bit of that. So that is where we little bit tend to mix up the tenses. So those tenses, if we can just keep it correct, it would fall in place. The second is use of the word the. So now at some of the areas, some of the people have we generally tend to use the as a filler word. I would rather say, because we sometimes feel that a sentence is incomplete. The word only. Sometimes we use the word only, and I'm going only. Or similarly, the word the is also used when we feel that a sentence is not complete. So probably a little controlling on the word the would be good. As a club, what I noticed is that many of us used small sentences, and that helped us to keep the grammar correct. So when you are not using too many connected words, or you're not trying to connect 2 3 different sentences, then everything falls into place automatically. Especially, I would appreciate Prasanna. He was taking his time. He was telling one small sentence and then another small sentence, which was making it automatically grammatically correct. So whether it be tenses or whether it be any other facet, when you mix 2 sentences together, when you put an and or in between and then you continue with it, that is when all those complications start happening. So as they say, I don't know how many have seen the movie The Patriot, Mel Gibson. So they say hit small, miss small. So if you go for a smaller target, you miss a smaller target. So if you keep the sentences short, yes, that will definitely help you. Another thing which I personally have been trying to work upon is using usage of the word thing. Now we tend to use the word thing when we don't have the appropriate noun, pronoun, or the probably adjective or adverb in hand. We tend to use the word thing. Everybody uses it, and it's very difficult to remove the word what do you call it, thing, and substitute it with the correct thing. But yes, that would go into miles in improving our English grammar. Well, that's it from the grammarian angle. Overall, it was a very good meeting, as I was already talking about the enthusiasm and the energy part, and the part that people were mindful about attending the whole thing. I missed out on the Sergeant at Arms address, so I would not be able to comment upon it. But I'm sure you have done the 3 things that you were supposed to. That is, one, an enthusiastic welcome. Second would be telling the rules, and third would be introducing the president. Now, introducing a president is a very important factor, because when the guests come, or if any district officer attends the meeting, or anyone, the way you introduce the president is how they are going to see him or her. In this case, it would be him. So the introduction, yes, it becomes an important part. So keep it in a writing, write something innovative. Like I have called my club president as nuclear reactor and whatnot. So have some innovative introduction that you can talk about. That would be fun. Coming to Devarshi, did we have a president's address, or did they say, okay, we had the president's address? I'm sorry, I again missed that part. Like I was initially occupied. Teerth did a fantastic job stitching the whole thing together. Probably we would not have managed to have such a good meeting if not for Teerth taking up the role of Toastmaster of the day. Super job done. keeping the show interactive, and seeking everybody answer for a very relevant question these days, that is, like, on the surface, what is it on the surface and what is it beneath the surface. I believe it was a very beautifully chosen topic, and the way he weaved the entire section sets together, although we had a lot of things unprepared, but still he was able to stitch the whole thing into one show, and it was very good. So Teeth, you deserve a big round of applause. I mean, you're a professional when it comes to being an MC. Really good job done. The table topic master. The table topic master. The one special good thing which I liked about it is that when Teeth handed over the session to you, you had some words for Teeth. That is, how well Teeth has managed it till now, which usually is not seen in Toastmaster, but it's a very wonderful gesture. Usually in Toastmaster, it's a one-way traffic. The TMOD introduces table topic master. The table topic master takes the show forward. You took a minute's time and then you thanked Teeth, and you had few words for him. I believe that was a very good gesture. That was really good. And then you told about table topics, how table topics is helpful. You had very creative topics for all of us, although that forced us to do a little bit of thinking. But yes, these were really good topics that you took it up, and then you had a bit of a conclusion in the end. Again, another thing what I loved about it was that after each speaker spoke, you had a take of your own. You had some words of your own to add, which is a very good thing. Again, it shows a good gesture that you were listening to the person, one, and second, it also shows your confidence about the subject and you being the table topic master. So that was very good job done. Please give him also a big round of applause. Okay, I guess that covers everyone. Let's have the timers report. Santosh, can you share the timers report?
Great. Thank you so much. I never thought 5 people, all of us, will make such a good session. It was very fruitful. I really enjoyed every moment of it. So let's get into the timer report. Teeth took 1 minute 50 seconds for table topic, and Soumik took 1 minute 35 seconds, and Devarshi took 1 minute 35 seconds. But Prasanna, in both cases, he exceeded 2 minutes. So in the first this thing, he took 2 minute 5 seconds, and in second topic, he took 2 minute 15 seconds. I think this is the area we need to improve. And apart from that, people, please see the chat box when we give the comments, so that if you have to keep a track, because nowadays we are having session online only, so there is no way we can show the card. At least if you keep on seeing the chat when you are talking, that will really help us. That's all from my side. Maybe my timer thing, Teeth, I think Teeth has noted. In 10 my time. That's all from my side. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, thanks, Santosh. Nowadays, being an online meeting, the timer role is probably becoming one of the most critical, because timer is the only person who has to be prepared through and through. And there, as you were saying, that there are a lot of technical things involved when you are seeing the time. So I guess the timer is playing a very big role, and we all should give him a big round of applause to be there throughout and helping us with the timing. Thank you so much, Santosh. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, with that, I come to the end of today's general evaluation, hoping that I haven't missed out on anything yet. But yes, I have ticked off all the general evaluation points that I had to tell. Now I would hand over the virtual stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Teeth.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Soumik, for a wonderful report. They say that constructive criticism juxtaposed with appreciation is the perfect evaluation. And we saw an example of that. So the way you appreciated and applauded for everyone and made us applaud for everyone, really appreciate. I mean, really helped everyone. This boosted everyone's confidence. So let's do the deed for him as well. And let's applaud for our general evaluator for a wonderful job today. And even our grammarian. So thanks a lot, Toastmaster Soumik. All right. So they say that behind the curtain there could be raging storms or a calm sea, and it's up to you if you want to remove the curtain. I'm of course talking about the demeanor of a person. If you want to know and get to know a person more, it's your choice whether you want to lift the curtain or not, and it's completely up to you. So with that, we come to the end of the session, and I will like to hand it over back to our president of the club, Toastmaster Debashi. Over to you.
Uh, First of all, thank you, Tit. Thank you for taking up the TMOD role and making this meeting happen today. Otherwise, it could be a distant dream of us having a session just with the 4 or 5 members. But I think that is again the new normal. People have their personal commitments in the weekend, and it's understandable that people become busy and could not attend. Going forward, we will try to have this education session probably next week or next to next. Next week I am not available, but I will try to figure out and I coordinate with our VP Education and make it happen. That I will post all the chats in the group itself about. With that note, thank you everyone for attending the session today, and we'll see you again in the next week. Thank you, Somik, and special thanks to Pete as well.
Thanks a lot, everyone. All of you did a wonderful job today. It was fun. Even this 1 hour was spent really well.
Yeah. Even I really enjoy it. And now I have understood this. Starting of the weekend is going to be boomboxes for me to have the energy and yeah, with this meeting itself. Thank you, everyone. See you once again.
Thank you, guys. See
Thank you
you.
so much.
Bye bye.
Also,
Thank you so
one
much.
more thing.
Huh.
Since we always feel like there's a shortage of speakers, or it's difficult for people to volunteer. So, from the people in the meet, can someone volunteer for next week? I mean, it's difficult. I know that you cannot confirm your availability, but if you can, take up the role of speaker, it would be great. I mean, you will have a head start of a week, and you can prepare one day by day. What about you, Toastmaster Santosh? Is it possible?
I can repeat my icebreaker.
Okay, what about your next project?
Next project this week difficult.
Hey, which is your next project?
I don't.
Level 1
Also, you'll
project.
have to check. Okay.
Yeah, I will check.
Okay,
Because-
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll check that in the XCOM group only. Let's see who's available. Based on that.
See you next week.
See you guys. Chalo. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yes, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.